Shannon, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Hope you feel better. Hope you feel better. Dying here, but yes, Corey, I 100% blame you for jinxing me last night. By the way, I 100%, I 100% blame you for that. You jinxed me so bad that JJ McCarthy got hurt and is out for like weeks now. Black and silver. Black and silver. What? Black and silver. What? What the hell? What? Black and silver. What? We got blue and gold over here. Gold. You know, like winners. You know, what's black and so like charcoal. Isn't that what bad kids get on Christmas? How's everybody doing? What's going on, Rosa? How are you? Patrick, bolt up, baby. What's going on, everyone? Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm ready for this Chargers game tonight. I'll tell you what. I'm ready for this Chargers game tonight. Wrong jersey, right jersey. Very, very much the right jersey. That Giants Cowboys game was insane. That was an insane game. That was absolutely insane. That was crazy. That was wild. Dude, like, and like Ari's like not even like a big football person. She was watching she was watching that Cowboys Giants game going like, oh my God, what's going on? Even she was impressed. Welcome in, everybody. Head on in, please. Everyone head on in. Come on in. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on over. Come on over, baby. Yeah, they were letting me know. So I'm in a pick'em league, right? I picked every game until the Sunday night game. Isn't that horrible? I picked every game until the Sunday night game. Every single one. Ugh, gross. Freaking JJ McCarthy freaking just went trash. It's insane. Have we heard that yet? Oh, someone said that's insane. I thought we maybe had heard it. Bolt up. Hell yeah. Come on in, everybody. We're just getting this thing started today. We're just getting this thing started. We're just cruising on. I ain't even been on for 5 minutes. Score predictions. (27-17) Chargers. That's my score prediction. 27-17. That's it. Someone said I'm looking good in the blue. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. This actually is my. It actually is my. Oh, Matt said 30-17. Okay, I like her. Mine's 27-17 Chargers. This isn't my favorite jersey. I do love it because it has the 13 on it. That is awesome. But my first favorite jersey is my Herbert jersey, but it's a white jersey and it throws off everything else. Come on in, everybody. We're talking a little football as we get ready to talk a little politics.
It's insane.
Oh, did I hear it? I think I just heard something's insane. Jay Lee, thank you for the $20 super chat to start off the live. Big W's in the chat for Jay Lee for starting it off with a big $20 super chat. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for Jay Lee for the big $20 super chat to start the day off. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm gonna move that over a little bit, but that's okay. Thank you so much. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's bigly. We're starting off the live with a bigly one. We're going to start off the live with a bigly one. We're going to start with the big $20. It's insane. That's what they told me. They're the big burly men. They came up to me and they were like, it's insane. They were like, wow, it's so insane. And I was like, yes, it's so insane. It's so insane that bigly super chat to start the live off. I really don't pull out the Trump impression as much as I should. I'm not bad. I'm not bad. Not saying I'm the best, but I'm not bad. I can hold my own. I can hold my own on my Trump impression. I can hang in there. All right, y'all. We're just getting this thing started. We're just getting this thing started. You still hear Trump is like trying to shoot down boats in international waters? Anyways, just thought I would just curious about the whole the whole president of peace. But anyways, I did do my best, Hannah. I did do my best. Can't say it's the best one, but I did do my best. I gave it all 50%. That's about all I gave into it, to be completely honest with you. I only gave about 50%. I could give 100, but I don't want to. Okay? It's not worth 100% of the effort. All right, y'all. Well, let's open up these phone lines, get this thing going. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, there we go. Sorry. Had to get that going first. All right. Do we have any phone calls? We had one phone call coming in already. Y'all, welcome into the live. They're just getting things started and just getting things moving. So thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys, as you're coming in, you guys are hitting that follow button, hitting that subscribe button, chatting in the chat. If you'd like to support everything from super chats to helping out the live gift goals over here. Any of those things just really help to just bring the live and help it keep moving forward. Sends it out on the cool little algorithms that these things work on. Whatever super magic genius shit. Okay. Whatever super magic genius shit goes into making algorithms happen. Okay. That it helps it somehow. I don't know. I do politics, not computers. Okay. I'm assuming it's a lot of ones and zeros. Okay. And like when you guys chat a whole bunch, it turns one of those little zeros into a 1. Or maybe that's vice versa. I don't really know the way things work. Okay? I don't know how any of it works, but it does something like that. So if you guys would like to support by either supporting with your chatting, with your effort, with your taps, with your gift goals, with your gifts or anything like that, those all go to just help the tap that algorithm and do the ones and zeros thing. Okay. Oh, you're right. I still do have that up. I didn't take the phone number, the thing down for the phone number. That's on me. So before I open up these phone lines, I need to get one thing off my chest very, very quickly. Bolt up, fuck the Raiders. All right, we're going to get that off the chest real quick. Bolt up, fuck the Raiders. And now we can move on. Someone says my YouTube screen is different. No, it's not. How's it different? The YouTube screen looks exactly the same. All right, phone lines are open. If you guys are a Trump supporter and you'd like to have a conversation about why you support Trump, then you can go ahead and either join the multi-guest request button, or you can call on the number that's above my head or next to my head, depending on, which live you're on.
It's insane.
I have to tell people, hey, like it's different depending on which one you see. People are seeing me on different angles. See, people over on this screen over here, they see like the whole room. But see, you people over here, you guys just see like this much of it. Dart Destroyer, thank you so much for the 30 jewels. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that, Darth. And Lewis, big W's in the chat for Lewis. Lewis from Puerto Rico with a $20 super chat. Lewis from Puerto Rico says, waiting the class to start and keep learning how to confront with facts my MAGA friends from the island. That is awesome. That is awesome. Waiting on class to start, getting a little pre-education before we get into the full education. See, unlike Donald Trump, I do like the educated. Unlike Donald Trump, I very much do like the educated. Thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for Lewis from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico! Bringing in the second super chat of the day. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Someone said just craving some tacos. I actually literally just had tacos before I got on, which is actually pretty crazy. I literally just had some. I had a whole plate of tacos, actually. It was a lot of tacos. I ate all of them very, very quickly. They're delicious. I'm getting fat. I'm not really getting fat. I'm not really getting fat. I just like tacos. Oh, the first 3 tacos went to my stomach. Okay. The first 3 tacos went to my stomach. The other 2 went to my heart. All right. The first 3 were for nourishment in the stomach. The other 2 were for my heart. That's the way tacos work. When your stomach is full, they just go to your heart. Okay? They don't go to your stomach. They don't go to the love handles. They just go to your heart, okay? They just go to your heart. So just remember that next time you have a plate full of tacos. Next time you have a plate full of tacos, don't forget that, okay? Is bingo still going? Yeah, bingo's still going. As far as I know, no one's hit bingo yet. Hello, how are you? All right, goodbye. Thought we were ready to get this thing started. Hello, how are you? Hello. All right, goodbye. All right, we're starting off with great callers. We're getting this thing going. Darth, thank you so much for the 30 jewels again. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Mystic with the gifted membership. Make sure if you got that gifted membership from Mystic, that you said a big W, a whole bunch of W's in the chat for that, for sure. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
Say again?
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
How often do I support Trump? Every day possible.
All right. Well, that wasn't the question, but sure. Anyways, what's on your mind?
Well, I apologize for one. You were cutting out a little bit there. Would you like to repeat it? I'll answer you again.
No, that pretty much answered it, but that's fine. I got the gist from that.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I support Trump if that was your question.
It was my question. Yes.
Well, I do support Trump. I have supported Trump since his initial election back in 2016.
Okay. So why do you still support him?
Well, I mean, I support him because of the values that he's doing and the things and the things that he's bringing into the U.S. economy.
Like what?
I mean, he's strengthening our economy for one with the tariffs. It's one of the greatest things that he's done.
Really? So
Um,
he's strengthening our economy into the first negative jobs loss since COVID and the worst unemployment rate in 4 years?
well, both of those are not true. I mean, if you look at what the tariffs have done, right? The outline of the tariffs is that they have put more pushback on foreign trade. One of the things that did was like, as an example, one of the European automakers were charging us 10% for importing American-made vehicles into their country, while we were charging them 2.5%. Why is that fair?
Okay, so first of all, the numbers I said are true. You can't just say, no, they're not, and then that just makes them not true. Okay, it is true. Those are the numbers that are released by BLS under the Trump administration with Trump's own person in there. Okay. And second of all, the whole point of tariffs is not a matter of fair. Okay. I don't know where we got this idea of tariff rates being a fair trade thing.
Well, that's precisely what tariffs do. I mean, they help regulate the economy. They help regulate foreign trade. And by putting tariffs into effect, what we've essentially done is make it more profitable for people to build and have jobs in the U.S.
Incorrect. That is not what tariffs
Absolutely
do.
not.
Tariffs do not make them more profitable to build in the United States. It makes it less profitable to build in other places sometimes, and that depends on the product, and it depends on what the import rate is and what the tariff rate is, okay? But it has nothing to do with being fair, and I want to be very clear on that, okay? We have all sorts of tariffs in the United States that we implemented on other countries that we've been doing for a long time that aren't even across the board because that's not what tariffs are supposed to be for. Okay. Tariffs are used for things like making sure that specific industries within the United States are isolated from foreign competition for a certain amount of time in order to build up when another country has a high advantage when it comes to technology, i.e. electric cars. We did a huge tariff on, foreign electric cars, for a long time because places like China had built at such a high rate and so much faster than American auto manufacturers that we need to isolate ourselves from that trade because it would absolutely destroy the U.S. automakers when it came to electric cars, right? That's good, but it wasn't fair. We were putting a tariff on electric cars in this country that didn't match any country on the planet. All right. The problem with Donald Trump's tariffs, though, is it has nothing to do with bringing jobs back. Actually, none of his tariffs, I don't think, actually have anything to do with bringing jobs back. When you talk about the European car makers, right, and you're saying, oh, they had a 2%, we had a 2.5% tariff on their cars, and they had a 10% tariff on ours. How does that help incentivize auto manufacturers to build in the United States?
Well, so you see, essentially the way that works, right, is originally we had a European auto manufacturer that had a 2.5% tariff on imports coming out of the U.S. and entering into the European country. And then, they had a 10% coming from European cars coming into the U.S. The problem with that, right, is it's an unfair trade value. So we're paying more to send American vehicles into European territories than they are paying to send European vehicles into American territories. No, that's not incorrect.
Well, first it's incorrect, and
it's wrong, and then assume it's wrong.
No, I can tell you how it's wrong, but even if that is right, that doesn't answer my question.
Well, define your question a little further then.
Okay, well, I need you to listen to it first, okay? And if you listen to it, then maybe you know how to answer it, okay? I said, okay, you said, and like you so eloquently repeated after I said it for no reason, okay? You said that they had a 10% tariff rate on American cars, and we had a 2.5% rate on European cars, and that needed to be equal to make it fair. Now, let's just say that does make it equal, which it doesn't, right? How does that incentivize any car manufacturer to build in the United States?
Well, it incentivizes car manufacturers, right? Because it makes it inevitably cheaper for them to build a plant in the United States on our domestic soil to produce their product to build their vehicles here.
Gotcha.
Whereas
so you're saying these UK car makers are going to move here?
I'm saying they're going to branch industries here, which is going to do two things. It's going to, one, strengthen our economy.
Hold on, sir. You're going off on other things because you don't want to talk about what you actually said. Okay? This is the second time I'm having to bring you back. Okay? Stop trying to go off on other things. Okay? I want to know how that tariff rate, okay, now being higher on European cars makes car manufacturers build here. Okay, those specific ones, because the deal you're talking about is with the UK. I know exactly which one. right?
No, but I'm
So
answering
how
your
does that
question, right?
incentivize Jaguar to come here and start building cars in the United States?
Okay, so again, I'm going to answer this as plainly and simply as possible for you because I'm answering your question and you're
No,
choosing
you're
not to
not.
listen to it.
Okay,
The answer to
maybe
your
I make,
question,
how about this? Maybe I'll make it more clear. Okay? How many jobs are going to be created by moving Jaguar to the United States?
several 100,000. How many
700,000.
plants are going to be here?
So due to this, Jaguar has said, we are now going to start building the cars in the United States.
Maybe not Jaguar specifically,
Okay,
but
can you
other
please name
manufacturers
one
will.
UK car maker who has said that they're now going to build in the United States?
Off the top of my head, no.
The
But
correct
you
answer
have to
is no. The
understand.
reason for that is because there's not one. Okay?
Okay.
Because
so
there's
by
not one
proxy,
at
hold
all.
on.
Because it would make
No.
absolutely no sense to build cars
No,
in
it
the
wouldn't.
United States from UK car makers.
on.
Here's the no, you
hold
can
on.
hold on now. The reason for that is because all of the parts that they would need to manufacture those cars, they're still in Europe, right? And
Incorrect.
now instead of just paying the tariff rate on, on the car, they would still have to actually pay the tariff rate on all the materials, all right, that they bring over to the United States. So regardless of any of that, they would have to build a new factory. They would have to retool their factory. Then they would have to import all of the parts and resources, which again, still fall under the same tariff rate because they didn't make a distinction in between already built cars and the parts for cars, which is why currently even US manufacturers who get a lot of their parts from cars from different, countries are now hurting right now due to Donald Trump's tariff rates. Okay. So that's exactly why we're not going to see any more cars being made from that. Second of all, people that buy cars from like places like the UK and especially cars in Europe, when we're talking about like Audi, Mercedes, other cars like that, they buy those cars because they're luxury cars. They're already significantly paying without any extra tariff rate. They're already paying significantly more for the ability to have those cars, which is the exact same thing that happens in Europe. When they actually buy American cars, they're buying more luxury cars, things like Cadillac, for example, which are considered premium cars in the United States. So raising the tariff doesn't create more jobs, it just has them pay more. And third of all, like I tried to address before, we're not paying the tariff.
Okay, are you done rambling now?
I'm not rambling, sir. Would you like to address with any type of intelligence anything I just said?
Well, I have addressed things with intelligence.
No, you have not.
You are choosing to evade and ignore what I'm
No, I
telling
am
you.
addressing your point
And you're
straight
asking for
up, and
specifics
crying
that
about
have
it
not
will
yet-
not make your points better. Okay?
I'm not.
So how
crying to
about you
about
stop
it, but
crying
are
about it
asking
and you
for
just address it,
specificities.
okay? Who pays the
You are
tariff, sir?
You are asking for specificities that have not yet been released. There have been no manufacturers of vehicles that have specifically stated they are going to manufacture vehicles here.
Sure they have.
But you have to understand
Sure
by
there is.
understanding how a tariff would work, that by proxy, that is what's going to happen. It's going to bring more auto
Incorrect.
manufacturers into domestic lands, and it is going to cause more job generation. Because you're going to need people to work in the facilities. And who other than American citizens on American soil to work in said facilities?
Yeah, so perfect. Problem with that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not Americans to work them.
There are Americans to work on them. because we
No,
are in a
actually, the
job
BLS
deficit.
stats that, again, just came out under the Trump administration shows that the amount of open jobs in the United States are about even with the amount of unemployed people in the United States, right? So right now, if
You're
everybody in the
telling me-
United States was in the correct spots, right,
Mhm.
they would all have jobs, right? So where are we going to put these factories in the United States where all of a sudden all of these workers are?
Well, it's not a matter of where all of the workers are, because there's a nationwide job pandemic across the entirety of the United States.
A
are not enough
nationwide
jobs to
job
support.
pandemic? I don't know if you know what a pandemic is if you're saying nationwide job pandemic.
I'll tell you this, COVID surely wasn't.
No, it was not a job pandemic because a job pandemic doesn't
No, it was
exist.
not a pandemic in general, is what I meant.
Okay, so you don't know what jobs or a pandemic are. Sir, who pays a tariff?
The consumer. And the
Wrong.
manufacturer.
Wrong.
No, absolutely not, because the manufacturer is paying a tariff. which is
Nope,
going to
those
raise
are
the
those
price
are
of
all wrong.
importation of
So
vehicles.
when you're saying that we're having to pay a tariff to ship our cars to Europe, who pays that tariff?
Okay, so let me try this one more time for you.
You should try it
Again,
one more time for
the
yourself because you're not
manufacturer-
doing a great job. You said
The
that it costs
manufacturer
us
of the vehicle.
10%
The
to
manufacturer
move the car
of
over.
the vehicle pays
Wrong.
the tariff. Okay, I'm done arguing with you because that's all it is an argument, not a debate.
All right, well, you
So
should try
goodbye.
Googling. Importers pay tariffs. Oh, well, that was really bad. Anyways, nothing he said made any sense, and I was trying to keep him on topic, but he didn't want to stay on topic because that's how people do what people do when they don't know any answers to anything. They try to just move from thing to thing to thing to thing, but that's okay. He got embarrassed and ran away. I would too. Taurus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Or gifted memberships. I really appreciate that. Big W's to chat for Taurus for the 5 gifted, and another extra W if you got one of those gifted memberships from Taurus. Taurus, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. That is very, very sweet of you. And Jay Lee with the $10 super chat says, "Word to help Trump fans happy. Just say woke." Oh yeah, woke. I like the yellow ones too. It matches my jersey. All right, we're gonna open this thing back up with hopefully somebody that has a little bit of a better idea of what's going on in this world. But I mean, honestly, the bar has been set pretty low. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
What do you say?
How old are you?
Just turned 18. Why?
Oh, because you have to be a certain age to be up here, and that sounds too young. Anyways, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you? Hello? You okay there, sweetheart? Guess not. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I'm 13.
Yeah, no. Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, you're too young also. Children, go someplace else. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, are you doing that live chat on
How old are you?
29?
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
So, I don't get why everyone's so upset with why one person would support Trump or whatnot, or having him send back, like, people down back to Mexico or down to where they came from. I don't get why
It's
everyone's up in
insane.
arms about that.
Donald Trump's not sending people back to where they came from. He's sending them to other countries.
And what do you mean by that?
I mean, he's already sent people to South Sudan. He's already tried to send people to Rwanda. He's sending people to El Salvador when they're not from there. He's sending people to other countries.
So with the border crisis is being our border being weakened over the last with Biden, people coming
what?
up from.
Why aren't you addressing what I said? You said people sending back, people getting sent back to their own countries, and Donald Trump isn't sending people back to their own countries. I'd like to know what your response to that is.
I guess I don't really got a good one on that one.
Do you have an issue with Donald Trump sending people to countries they're not from, especially war-torn, famined countries?
Yes, and I say those people that are fleeing those war-torn countries should fix what they got going on in that.
No, sir. I'm not saying people that are fleeing from war-torn countries. I'm saying people that are coming here from places in Latin America are being deported to war-torn countries in Africa. They're not from there. They're not escaping from there. They've never been there. They've never been to the continent.
I guess I didn't hear that part of they were getting sent to Africa or any of that. But
well, do you have an issue with that?
I guess I do a little bit if they've never been to that continent.
Okay. All right. I was just curious. You can continue.
So it's seeing people from mainland China coming up through the U.S.-Mexico border, or even from the Canadian border, seeing the fentanyl come through either from Canada or Mexico, and people aren't talking about that crisis either.
Yeah, of course we are, sir. The fentanyl crisis in the United States has been talked about significantly. The problem with that is that 90% of the interdicted fentanyl that comes to the United States is brought here by United States citizens.
U.S. citizens, but who is manufacturing said?
Oh, lots of other people, but lots of people. But regardless of that, I'm not saying that we should be manufacturing more, that we don't have a fentanyl problem in the United States, right? We do, but kicking out undocumented immigrants doesn't fix American citizens bringing in drugs, right?
No, it does not. Correct.
Right. So, I mean, that's all I'm saying is if the problem is the drugs, then we need to implement fixes that are going to fix that. But this doesn't fix that, right? Deporting people to Rwanda doesn't, or Uganda, or wherever he's sending them, that doesn't fix the problem.
No, it does not. So, I guess that was the only thing that really was on my mind with this current administration, and
Yeah.
I'll have to dig that one more. But
Like I said in this live, sir, securing our border, making sure we have a secure southern border, northern border, secure ports, secure airports, anywhere that we have a border around the United States, and making sure that's secure is not a bad thing. Okay? Nobody believes that that's a bad thing. No one on the left believes that's a bad thing. No one on the right believes it's a bad thing. No one believes that's a bad thing. Okay? The question is, how do we do it, right? The way we do things matters.
Yep.
Right? If we're just securing the southern border and we're saying, hey, like, no one can come in right now, we're full. Okay, well, do I think that that's kind of ridiculous? Yeah, but I'm not going to have a huge, shit fit over it, right? Like, freaking, we have the right to have a border, and the president has a certain level of rights within the United States to enforce that border. Okay. He's not doing anything illegal. He's not doing anything wrong.
nope.
Right? But when he starts sending people to prison for crimes they don't commit, when he's freaking, trying to stop people from having their free speech, when he's sending them to third countries, when he has stuff like that, then I start to have an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cool. Well, you got anything else, man?
Nope, that's it.
All right, man. Well, I hope you have a good one.
You as well.
Bye. All right. We're going to move to the next person. Make sure y'all hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. We're going to keep this thing going. Darth, I am seeing all those jewels you're sending. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. I am seeing every single one of them. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to open up these phone lines, keep this thing going. Really appreciate you guys being here. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Thank you guys so much for those hand hearts. I really appreciate that. Awesome. So do you support Trump?
I do, actually.
Awesome. Cool. What's on your mind?
Well, honestly, all that's on my mind really is rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.
Okay. Well, cool. Do you have anything else on your mind?
Yeah, I hope that Donald Trump himself can make a difference and show us that he is different than what he's showing us he has been. Because even though I voted for him and I support him, I have seen that he might be as horrible of a person as he might be.
He might be as horrible of a person as he said he was.
I mean, could you...
I agree.
I think he could be a horrible person, but I've hoped in my life that he was a great person.
Oh. Well, hope only gets you so far in life. But,
Seriously.
I hope lots of things.
Yeah.
So.
Sometimes we might hope and it might be wrong.
Yeah, well, in this case, definitely is. But I'm going to move on to the next person. I hope you have a good one, all right?
All right. Thanks for answering me.
Yeah, man. Bye. All right, we're going to do another little live gift card here. I haven't done the corgis in a while. Let's do that up. All right, let's keep this thing going. Yeah, I mean, it is nice to hope. Hope is a great thing. Gotta love hope. Oh shoot, I missed this too. Mel said go Birds. I was a big Birds fan this week because fuck the Chiefs. So for this week, go Birds. I was rooting for them all the way. All right, I was rooting for them all the way. Hi, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Cool. What's on your mind?
I mean, I feel like there's been an issue with, or I feel like the main problem in this country right now is we can't agree on objective truth anymore.
I do agree with that.
And two wrongs don't make a right. So just because,
But what did two
you
rights
know,
make?
Trump is sending people to the wrong place, of course, that's always a problem, right? But coming here illegally is wrong.
How is it
So
wrong?
that's the first wrong there, you know,
How is it wrong?
because they're coming here illegally.
No,
It's against
but legality
our
and
law.
morality are two different things.
Exactly. So that's the problem.
Well, that's not the
Is
problem,
that
sir.
we have
For the majority,
morality
sir, for a
that is
long
rooted in objective truth. So when you start taking objective truths and you try to make them subjective, that's where the poison in America is starting to fester and brew and turn into
Sir,
this
I didn't
evil.
say any of that. I just said there's a difference in morality
No,
and
I'm saying
listen.
that.
No, I don't want to.
This is
I
what
want you
I'm
to
saying.
listen. Okay, I said that there is a difference between legality and morality. Okay, so when you're
Okay,
saying
and that's-
something,
and that
sir,
whole-
listen.
that whole-
I
Okay,
swear, if you
I'm listening.
listened, you might be able to respond like accurately.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
So, if something is wrong, that falls under morality. You're saying it's wrong because it's illegal. That's not true. There's been tons of laws in the United States. Sir, I am not going to fight you to complete a sentence. Okay. So if I can't complete sentences and you can't listen to those and then respond accurately to those, then I'll move on to the next person. Okay.
Go ahead. Just talk. Go ahead. Talk.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. All right. What I said is for a long time in the United States, and even I would say some of the laws that even currently exist within the United States, okay, may be legal, but they're not moral. So when you said that crossing the border is wrong, I want you to know how it's wrong, not how it's illegal, how it's wrong.
I think that it's wrong because we don't have any idea who those people are. And it completely disregards all of the people that have been waiting and have been doing the legal and right thing to do, who have been hardworking people that we can track. We know who they are. They're not trying to get things through our borders that can be killing Americans. They're not, you know, we don't know who these people are. We don't know if these are people that are from, you know, other countries that are our adversaries.
We do know that.
We don't know.
But anyways, regardless of that, sir, if that was the idea behind Donald Trump's policies, then you wouldn't be supporting Donald Trump using the IRS as a way to track down migrants. Because we do know who they are, and they are hardworking, okay? And they are trying to do things the correct way. Sir, again, I am not going to fight you to complete sentences.
Okay, all right. Okay, go ahead.
Awesome. Donald Trump is using the IRS, going after hardworking people, okay, that are working and trying to do things the legal way. He's going after immigration courts, okay, trying to go after people that are doing things the right way. Okay, so if you supported exactly what you're saying, and you're saying the problem is that they're not, you know, that's cutting the line of hardworking people and people that are, you know, that are easy to be tracked, all right, then you should be against Donald Trump's immigration policies also, because it goes against your own morality, right?
So you just said that I should be upset because the IRS is tracking who?
No, I said you said that your problem with the migrants is people that they cannot track, who are not trying to, he's skipping the line of people who are trying to do things the right way and not going after the hardworking people who are trying to do things the right way. Okay, that's why it's wrong. But Donald Trump is going after people that are doing it the right way. He is going after hardworking people that are trying to do things the right way, people that are paying taxes. That's why he's using things like the IRS, which again, kind of, if you're not doing things the right way, kind of weird that you're paying your taxes, right? And if you're not doing things the right way, then why would you be at an immigration court hearing trying to use the legal system the correct way in order to have a correct legal status in the United States? These are the people that Donald Trump is going after.
Okay, so this goes back to the objective right and wrong. And this is two wrongs don't make a right. So Donald Trump is not a perfect person. I don't think that at all. There's a ton of things I do not agree with Donald Trump on. And him doing things that, you know, it's of my understanding that he does not like the IRS and that he wants to limit their powers. That's what I have heard. But yeah, I can agree with you that if Donald Trump is doing something wrong that is objectively wrong, that we can all agree is wrong, then that's not all right.
Cool. That's all
But
I'm
the
arguing,
problem-
is that Donald Trump is doing things that are objectively wrong, even according to your moral standard.
Of course, everybody does things.
But sir, that's what I
Everybody does
don't
something.
support. His immigration policies are objectively, morally wrong. You're the one that's
It's
saying
not.
you support Donald Trump on his immigration policies. I'm not. Okay, I'm saying what's in your opinion objectively morally
You're
wrong.
just
I'm
trying
saying
to
that that's wrong.
You're giving excuses. For you're using your subjective reality of what's right and wrong. You don't.
No, I'm using
You're
yours.
not telling me why. You don't think that it all goes back to, do you have a problem with people crossing our border illegally?
Of course I do. But sir, I'm not using my morality. I'm using yours. You're the one,
what
sir.
is your morality?
You're the one who said that your morals, okay, meant that people were coming in skipping
I'm
the line
asking
of
you
people
your
that were
morals.
working. I'm using your morals, not mine.
So why are you using my morals?
Because they're
Why?
your morals, because you're the one making the argument. I'm making the argument that Donald Trump's immigration policies are bad. Okay? I'm making the argument they are bad. You're making the argument that they are good, except for Donald Trump's policies go against what you have said is objectively morally wrong.
Donald Trump's policies are for the greater good. So Donald Trump is not a perfect person, but he agrees on objective reality. You people, this is getting stamped out. God rest Charlie Kirk's soul. Thank God for that man. He is the purest individual on the fucking planet. We should be looking up to this person and idolizing
Yes, let's
him
look up to
for living a
racists.
life-
Anyways,
for
can we
living
get
a
on to the
life-
immigration policy?
for
I am
living
really
a
don't want to
life
hear this
that he
this
should be
fucking
so proud
glazing.
of
This is
everything
fucking
that he
weird.
said. It's weird to be idolizing a man like Charlie Kirk.
It's weird to be trying to talk about Charlie Kirk when I'm dog walking you on immigration. Yes.
This is obviously this whole political climate. The reason that you're talking like this to everybody who gets on, that guy that was on the phone last time, who was obviously
with
not the brightest person, and you're talking to him
with absolutely no due
This is the thing
respect,
you do,
with
is you guys
absolutely
talk
no due respect whatsoever, I am engaging with you on actual immigration policy, and you want to sit up here and whine, and I have zero patience for it tonight. I have stuff to do today. Okay. So, all right, either you can address the immigration policies that we're talking about, and we can talk about how they're right or wrong, and then I will gladly take you off of mute. Okay. Or if you want to just sit here and glaze people, then frickin' you can do that, like, to your friends, I guess. I'm not here to listen to your frickin' glaze fest, okay? No. Are you ready to address what we're talking about? Sir, I will just move on.
Yeah. Are you hung up?
No, I'm here to talk about policy, about politics. I don't want to hear any of this crap. It's sad.
Okay, so yeah, I just think you guys are morally bankrupt and that you need Jesus, and it's not too late. So things are
Hail
gonna get real
Satan.
bad if you don't start
Hail
exposing the evil.
Satan! Satan,
start
rise and
exposing
touch
the
this
evil
man.
within-
May Satan rise from the depths of hell. Can I get 666 in the chat, please? Will Satan rise from the depths of hell and move into this man? Send your demons. Send your demons into this man, please. 666 in the chat,
This is
please. Send your demons into
what's
this man
happening
and take
in
his
America.
soul. Take his soul and rip it from him.
This is what's happening. I mean, you're just exposing yourself in broad daylight, and that's what's so sad. You used to have
nighttime.
the decency. You used to have
it's
some
nighttime.
type of. You have no idea.
It's nighttime.
What it means to be a moral person.
Sir, I am
You have
much
no
more
idea
moral
what that means anymore.
than most people. But of course, that's subjective. So how would I know that?
No, you don't know what that means. You clearly are lost.
How could I not know what that means?
You're a lost individual.
Why would I not know
And it's
what that means?
Sad. It is sad.
How am I not moral?
I pray for anybody that is fucking following any of this ideology.
Yeah, whenever you're
And I
done
hope that
crying, sir,
guys
you can
start
answer the question. How
exposing
am I
the
not
evil.
moral?
I'm not crying. I'm literally.
You know, you are crying. Answer the question.
I pity you.
Why? My life is probably way better than yours.
Yeah, probably. I can literally.
I mean,
see
it's a
sleeve.
pretty good chance that my
Everything
life
is
is
on your
way better than
sleeve,
yours.
brother.
Just by hearing your voice and hearing you whine
you are
like this
not
can
close.
pretty much
You are
prove
not close
that my
to
life
any
is
fucking-
significantly better than yours. I would never go up on somebody else's fucking live, call in
my voice.
just
Oh,
to
I thought
fucking
that you might
cry
like to
and
be
whine to someone.
prejudiced.
I would never fucking do that. Oh my God,
thought
my
you
life
might
is
like
so
to be
much better than
prejudiced.
that.
Cry and whine, that's the only thing you people do.
That's all you've been doing for the last like 5 minutes. Are you serious?
What, crying and whining?
Yes,
That's
I was
'cause I'm
literally
matching
in the
your
middle of an
energy.
immigration talk with you, and you have cried and whined since then.
Your tone has been bitchy and moany since.
And
I
here
turned
comes
on the
more
screen.
whining. Your tone is bitchy and whiny.
I mean, I don't even match your energy. Like I said, you're just a morally bankrupt, lost people.
Oh no, you made my feelings hurt. Oh
I'm not.
no. Grow up,
I
dude.
pity you.
Guys,
I pity you.
MAGA, please raise your children so I don't have to. Like, truthfully, raise your children.
No,
like,
you
is
wanna-
this how
you
you're?
want-
Is this what MAGA
America,
participation
you need to
trophies
talk to
look
your
like?
children so they don't
Is
mutilate
that what they're
them, and so
look?
that
Is
your
that
daughter
what this
doesn't
looks
go
like,
fucking
sir? You are refusing to
end up with a
engage in
Democrat.
any type of intellect with anyone. Okay, and I am here to engage in
You can't
intellectual
agree on
conversations.
truth.
I am here to engage in intellectual conversations with people that want to do the same. Okay, so, sir, we can't agree because you won't engage. I actually specifically asked you. Listen.
We won't agree on right and wrong.
Listen. I specifically asked you the question, what have I done that is morally wrong? And you refused to engage in it. So how could we possibly have a conversation, which is what you just said you wanted, okay? If we can't agree on what is objectively morally right and wrong, if you won't even engage in the conversation with me when I ask you about that exact thing.
Listen.
No, don't listen. Answer my question. I asked you a specific question.
Right?
See,
is it
here you go.
objectively right
Here
or
you
wrong to kill somebody?
No.
To murder somebody?
No.
I'm sorry, my wording was wrong.
No.
Is it objectively right and wrong to murder somebody? To shoot them in the neck in front of their wife and kids? Okay. So did you reprimand all those fucking people that were laughing? Is it
Sir, did you hear my
right
did you hear my
to
answer?
laugh? I know you said no, but did you reprimand and commend? Or,
yeah, actually
condemn,
like 1,000 times
you
on this live since we
condemn-
say. Literally
you people were
1,000 times.
in the
Yeah,
open,
sir. Yeah, not only have
openly laughing.
Hey, you asked me a question, be quiet. Yes, I have condemned people that have been talking shit about Charlie Kirk's death or praising it in any way, shape, or form. And I've done that over and over and over and over and over. And it's all on recording. And it's all on my YouTube page. So you can see me condemning them every single day. So yes, I have been condemning them.
You guys have shown. You guys have
See, you don't care.
completely
See, you
removed
don't
the
care.
wool from people's
See, you
eyes.
don't care. You don't care.
You won't
You
let me
said
talk.
it is objectively wrong if I don't condemn them. When I show you that I condemn them, you still
Because
don't
you're
care.
the way
You
that you're
still don't
speaking-
care
listen
because
to
you
me.
don't care
You-
about
no,
right
no,
and
no,
wrong.
no.
You came
Let
up
me-
here to
okay.
cry and fucking whine.
Let me talk.
And when my answers don't fit your little fucking narrative, you just cry and whine and cry and whine
Listen to
more.
me talk.
You
Listen
say
to-
that it's
you're not
fucking
letting me
objective
talk.
for me to do this. I do it, and then you still cry anyway.
Listen to
Sir,
me talk.
I am
It's
not going to
because
sit
of
here
the
and listen to you
tone in
whine
your
anymore.
voice. You do not.
Fuck off, dude. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Dude, if you want to engage with a conversation about morality, we can engage in one. Don't sit up here and just fucking cry. Oh my God, that is so annoying. Jay Lee, thank you so much for the $13 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. With the 666, Hail Satan. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on if you haven't already. We're gonna move on to a caller, hopefully one that can engage in a conversation. Because goodness gracious, that was bad. He starts out talking about immigration. Next thing you know, he's just crying and whining about something, dude. Didn't even make sense. Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
It's
How old are you?
insane.
I am 24. How old are you?
I'm 38.
You're what?
38
It
years
cut out.
old.
Nice.
Hold
saw
on,
the
I need to
live
put this
stream.
super chat up there because it has to do with the last caller. CJ, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. CJ said, hey, crybaby, did you reprimand people talking trash about George Floyd? Please shut up. Or about the people talking shit on Melissa Hortman, or about the people that were talking shit on Josh Shapiro, or the people that were talking about shit on Joe Biden. Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
what was so funny?
Yeah. No, I heard you reading off the
Yeah,
chat.
what was so funny about what I
just-
read?
I don't know. I just wanted to set the mood.
No, I was just curious. I mean, if there was
I
something in there was funny, I would love to address that right now. That'd be great.
just don't remember. I just
Oh,
you know,
okay.
I mean,
Well, how
you-
quickly we forget.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I was watching the live stream and you brought up a couple points that I was interested in.
Sure, what's up?
So, like the whole Israeli Donald Trump thing, like is that
I didn't bring up anything with Israel and Donald Trump today.
Oh, I thought. What about the fucking whatever. I'm probably not the best.
I mean, we
I
could talk about it if you really want, but I haven't brought up Israel at all.
I would love to talk about it. What the fuck is up with all the fucking politicians going to Israel and like bowing at the Wailing Wall or whatever? Like, dude, like, what's up with our tax money? Like, for the past like 40 or 50 years, the majority of our tax money has been going straight out to Israel. Besides the Ukraine war, that's like in second place. Like, dude, what's up with that? Like, do we really need to be supporting it? Like, and then also like, what's up with like all like the fucking like there's a fucking the candlelight, like for the 8 days or 7 days, and that's in like the White House. That's in like the fucking
Talk about
about
Hanukkah.
Yeah, the Hanukkah thing, like that's in the White House. Like, why do they still have that in there? Like, what's up with our money going
Okay,
there?
so hold on. So like, you kind of went that was weird. All right, I'm gonna address this really quickly, and then we're gonna move on to the next caller because I don't know, I don't know what we're really talking about here. First of all, the majority of our tax money does not go to Israel. That would be a ridiculous amount of money.
If you look it up, it does.
It really doesn't. I have looked it up. I read appropriations bills actually.
Second
Second of all, hold on, sir. I'm addressing all of your points, and then you can talk. Okay. Second of all, why do presidents go over there? I don't know. They're one of our allies. Do I think that we spend way too much money on Israel? 100% I do. That's ridiculous. But why do we have a menorah in the White House? Because people are inclusive, because this is a country of free religion, and we should have things in the White House. And we should have
every
things.
religion should have it in there, not just the Jews.
They do. That's why we have things like Christmas trees and crosses in the White House for Christmas also.
Pagan. That's pagan, and you know it.
Crosses are pagan? Well, I mean, you are technically correct.
Christmas trees. They come from the German tradition.
Almost everything to do with Christmas comes from a different religion.
No, you lie. That's not true.
Yeah, Christian. Yeah, Easter. The Easter bunny, the eggs, all that comes from freaking gods of fertility.
That's it's propaganda. You know it. It's fucking infiltration. It's infiltration from other America. There's a reason why there's a huge ass phallus, or what you call like that giant kind of like what do you call it? Excuse my language, but it's like an erect object or like a pillar, right? That comes from a.
Dude, I can't anymore. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. What the fuck are we talking about? Jesus fucking Christ. Anyways, Elise, thank you so much for the $3.33. It says I can't afford to be all the way evil. Hail Satan. Satan just came to me. Satan expects your offering, respects your offering. Satan appreciates your offering. Satan understands the economy is hard. Okay. Satan understands. Not everybody can afford the 666. The 333 works just fine. Okay. Satan believes in you. Satan loves you for just who you are, Elise, and all of you. All right. Thank you so much, Elise. I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna move on to the next caller. I really appreciate you guys. Guys, we got about an hour more on the live. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button, hitting that subscribe button. We're gonna be getting off about 5 minutes before that Charger game starts. That's when we'll be starting this thing. Hello, how are you?
Bro, what was last dude tweaking him?
Hello.
Whoa.
It's
You're the guy
insane.
on the YouTube right now, right?
I am the guy on the YouTube. You are correct.
I just now scrolled past it, and sometimes when I scroll past this kind of format, I call in. So, I'd
All
like
right,
to
man.
say hello. My name is Joe.
Hi, Joe.
I don't actually know your name.
You just call me Paulie.
Paulie? Nice to meet you, Paulie. Are you having a great night?
Excellent night. How old are you?
I'm 28 years young.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. So what's on your mind?
Well, I figured I'd be a little more
Insane.
unorthodox. I'd like to ask if you'd be interested in proposing a topic for me to talk about. Because, I could go with anything, in all honesty, but it's your show. I want to know what you want to talk about.
Sure. Why not? Usually I just let the guests come up and talk about it. It makes it a lot more challenging and fun for me, right? Instead of just picking out stuff that, that I want to talk about. But we just shot another boat out of international waters. How do you feel about that?
Whose boat was it?
I believe someone from Venezuela. They think that's the initial reports. The Donald Trump is announcing that, saying that it's narco traffickers, but he was wrong on the last one. So I really don't know if we can trust that. So I don't really know whose boat it is whatsoever, to be completely honest with you. I know what claims are.
All right. And what part of the international waters was it shot out of?
Somewhere in Central America. I don't have
Okay.
coordinates.
So, understandably, I understand what you mean. I just wanted to know, the basic general area. Anyway, so what if he's right this time? What if sometimes there are misinformed vessels, or they're carrying cargo as a decoy? What if this was the actual target?
Yeah. So since when do we have the right to just shoot boats that we think might be carrying drugs in international waters? That might be carrying drugs, and we don't even know where they're headed. If it's headed that way whatsoever, we're just guessing, right? Because we don't know where the boat's going to turn, right? Since when do we have the right to just missile boats out of the water because we suspect them of things?
Well, I don't necessarily know that we have the right to just attack people, but I do know that we have the right to defend ourselves. So I'd say that it kind of falls into that category if there's a high possibility of dangerous chemicals, weapons, people, any of the sort, potentially landing on shore near or on our land, that we call the United States, or our territories. I'd say that it's in our best interest to keep our people and our neighboring countries as well protected.
Yeah, sir, but they weren't at our neighboring countries protecting us. They weren't coming onto our shores. They weren't attacking us. They were in international waters, okay, thousands of miles away from the United States. Okay,
yes, but
that's just forever. like. Let me put that in in perspective for you. Okay, that'd be like me going 3 blocks away and shooting someone because they could be coming to my house.
Well, you do have a valid point there, but what is the person that you're going to shoot? Who are they? What area are you going to? You know what I mean? Venezuela is not exactly known for being super friendly towards the United States, and vice versa, especially in recent times.
And how does that give us the right to shoot down boats that we don't know what they're doing in international waters? You realize these are like private boats too. These aren't like military boats, right? We're using our military to shoot down non-military boats.
Well, yeah, but you understand that sometimes people smuggle drugs in their anal cavities too. Those aren't like.
Well, then why don't we just blow up Colombia?
Places to trap, huh?
Then why don't we just blow up Colombia?
Well, that's a whole different story.
Why? They're over there.
Civilians.
Yeah, these are also civilians from a different country.
How many? How many casualties are there?
Sir, I'm sorry, is there a correct number of casualties where it's okay?
No.
Okay, so why don't we just nuke Colombia?
But were there any casualties from this
boat? The people in Colombia could be working to freaking make drugs that could show up in the United States eventually.
Pardon me, are we talking about the boat from Venezuela or Colombia?
Oh, well, I'm just saying, if you're saying your entire stance is that we should have the ability to shoot down a boat in international waters that could possibly be carrying drugs because those drugs could eventually come to the United States, and I'm saying, based off that same stance, we should be able to blow up any country, okay, that could be producing drugs that could end up in this country. It's the same idea.
What I'm saying is that we have a right to self-defense, as does Venezuela. I'm gonna make the argument that they should also.
Maybe we should just blow up Venezuela.
Right, they should also have the right to shoot down our boat. It's gonna be a tit for tat. I'm not saying they don't have the right and we are allowed it.
Oh, gotcha. So you think that Venezuela should now have the right to blow up a U.S. Navy ship?
I don't know. I don't think they should just go blowing it up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if they perceive that there could be a threat to their country from a U.S. Navy vessel in international waters, then they should have a right to self-defense in a certain situation. I don't know anything about this boat in particular. I'm going off of what information I've learned after I started talking to you. Keep that in mind, right?
Okay.
So, like, can we at least agree that, like, the information I'm going with, at least, right?
No, because I really I think there's only one logical thing to say here and go, no, it's not okay for the U.S. military to be shooting civilian boats, okay, that we're not sure what they're doing, who are posing no immediate threat to the United States, out of the water and killing people. I think that's just kind of the, this. That's the super simple answer. I don't think it really takes much more thought than that, to be completely honest with you. Honestly, that might be too much thought for this situation.
Sir, you're right when it comes to a civilian boat. However, there obviously had to have been something to do with it other than just being a civilian cargo boat. We have advanced technologies. I'm sure there's things that we do not know, right? So I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to concede that it's not okay. Whatever. I'm going to say, yes, you are right on this subject matter. Now, I would like to also propose something else to talk about. I do agree that you're right.
Okay. What's on your mind?
Now, I would like to ask, do you think that what do you think about these the right wording. Okay, the border. That's what the word is. What do you think about the border situation? Do you think that we should have straighter or not straighter, but more strict checking of people like we have for kids that are born in our own country, where we get a social security number, everything, blood type, the whole thing, a lineage of the family, where they came from, have everything.
Lineage of the family. Hold on. You don't need a lineage of a family to register at Social Security. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I'm not saying you need that. I'm just saying, like, when you're born, a lot of times when you're born, you know who the mother and father is. A lot of times you might know who the grandparents are. You can have a line of descendancy is all I'm saying. It comes along with everything, right?
Sir, if we sent that's ridiculous. What?
What? What's ridiculous?
What are you talking about?
I'm saying, should we or should we not know the people that come into our country who are not born here?
We should know the people that are born here and not born here.
We should know both? Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. So when people don't come here and get documented, so undocumented or illegal or whatever the word you want to use, I'm sure you don't want to use the word illegal. Do you think that's a problem?
Yes, I would not want to use an incorrect word.
People?
What'd you say?
Do you think it's an issue to have a lot of undocumented people in the country? You do?
Yeah, of course.
So do you think that having stricter border laws, patrolling, and an actual wall would help to prevent that from happening further?
Patrolling, yeah, not really the wall, but I mean, if y'all want to waste tax money on a wall, I'm not going to be all up in arms about it.
I don't know how much. I mean, I'd rather waste the tax money on the wall than I would to have to give all the people that come here undocumented shelter, food, phones,
See, that's where you lost me, though, because that's not happening.
What's not happening?
We're not wasting a bunch of tax dollars to feed and house migrants.
I'm going to actually say that is untrue. I live in St. Louis, Missouri. I have a job in a kitchen, and there's about 9 undocumented, non-English speaking from multiple countries, by the way, that live in a house that they do not pay for. And
I'm not saying that we don't house temporary. I didn't say that we don't temporarily house people. We do, because the alternative to that is that they're
taxpayer dollars.
Yes, sir. The alternative to that is that they're homeless. Okay. The problem with that is undocumented immigrants pay way more in taxes than they do take from our tax system. So we're not paying for it. They're paying for it themselves.
Not necessarily.
Well,
because
no,
they're
necessarily.
also receiving food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid, and one of them.
No, they're not. Undocumented immigrants are not.
I'm telling you, I've seen these.
Sir, you do not. You have not seen an undocumented immigrant get SNAP benefits. That's a lie.
Yes, I have. His name is Henry.
Cool. Henry is either documented or doesn't have SNAP benefits. I don't know which one to tell you, but he is not undocumented. You can be from Honduras and still be legally here. Yeah.
But he's not.
Actually, if he's from Honduras, he's probably an asylum seeker, which they do qualify for things like SNAP benefits.
Okay.
But asylum seekers aren't undocumented migrants.
Okay. I'm telling you what the man told me himself.
Sir, I'm sorry. I have no ability to verify what one person's lied to you about. Okay. I have no ability to do that. Here's what I do know. Okay. Last year, undocumented immigrants paid almost $100 billion in state, local, and federal taxes. Okay.
100 billion?
100 billion. I believe it was like $98 billion. 95 to 98, somewhere in there.
$98 billion. So how many people would it take making minimum wage or less? Because that's usually what happens with undocumented migrants is they get paid very little. How many people would it take to reach that number?
I don't know the exact calculation. I know that's how much they paid, though.
How many undocumented migrants do you believe, whatever source you go with, how many undocumented migrants do you believe are here?
Last estimates I saw, 14 million.
14 million. Gotcha. So 14 million people generated $98 billion of tax revenue in 1 year.
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
That doesn't even sound close to inaccurate.
That's like 100 million, dozens of millions of dollars per person.
Dozens of millions of dollars per person?
Yes.
All right, let's calculate that out.
Yes, let's do that, please.
Let's see. That's a lot of zeros. Let's see. 98. Oh, I clicked off of it. Doo-doo-doo. Mm-hmm. Carry the... Hold on. 1, 2. It's about $63,000
a person.
Per if I got the number right. But that doesn't seem right.
Maybe I did over.
I think I got the number. I did get the number wrong. Hold on, I fucked up. I fucked up.
Take your time. It happens. I
did the math wrong.
All right.
Someone's saying it's 8,900, which actually sounds very close. It sounds a lot more correct. Let's see.
8,900.
Nope, 7,000.
$7,000. Hold on.
$7,000 per person. Yeah.
Did you say 9.8 billion or 98 billion?
98.
Okay, 98 billion.
Yep.
I just want to come up with the same answer or not. You know what I mean? Because I'm just going.
How many zeros is that? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 zeros.
And that would be divided by, let's just say a whole round number like 50.
There we go. I'll put it up on the screen for everyone. See, the first time I put in, I don't know what. Oh, I had 882 billion the first time. That's why I was so messed up.
And you're right, because it is lower, but still a lot of taxes.
$7,000 a person a year. That's not really that much taxes.
Depends on who you are.
Well, yeah. If you're saying minimum wage, this is
I'm
actually
saying likely.
this is actually kind of on the low end, to be completely honest with you. I'd be surprised if it wasn't a lot more per person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you really want to
Not bad.
calculate it, you talk about people that are, making,
thing that
you're
goes
talking
with-
about people making minimum wage, which let's say you work in a state that has very, very low minimum wage, which again would be,
It's insane.
which should be like Florida, right? And then say you work like
$10.
40, 80, 100, let's see, what is that? 160 hours a month, which would be full time, even though I'm pretty sure they're working a lot more than that, right?
Yeah.
Times
maybe multiple
12. Yeah. Oh, I think I calculated that wrong again. Anyways, that's for someone working just minimum wage. That's like 13,000. So even that person would be paying for, if they were just working full-time hours and just making minimum wage according to the federal government, that would, if they were paying 20%
right?
taxes, that's about 3,000, 4,000 right there. But then of course you have other states like California where you have much higher minimum wages where people are making, much higher numbers.
Yeah, but you also have higher taxes there too, though.
Correct, which is going into what I'm saying, which they're paying taxes.
All right.
Yeah, so they're making more and paying more taxes. Correct.
Potentially.
Well, you're the one who brought up that they pay higher taxes.
No, I'm not disputing. I'm just saying potentially they can make more. Potentially they don't. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons. I mean, always going back throughout the years, how you always hear everybody always saying that the illegal immigrants or undocumented migrants, whatever you want to use. I'm going to say either or interchangeably because that's how it's been referred to in the past.
No offense, but regardless of any of that, you said that you didn't want your money. You'd rather go into a wall than paying for undocumented immigrants. I just showed that it is way more than possible for the numbers that I said of $98 million or $98 billion to be a credible thing for undocumented immigrants to be paying, right? Easily,
yes,
right?
But
and off of no, sir, that's not saying all of them work. That's just saying an average per person, right? If a person is making more than minimum wage and taking care of his entire family, right, and supporting all of that, that's just an average of $7,000. I think a family of 4 could be paying $20,000-$30,000 in taxes every single year between state, local taxes. Let's not also forget things like sales tax, right, that they pay into local governments or anything like that, right? So they're paying this amount of money into the tax system. They're not getting things like Social Security. They're not getting things like Medicaid. They're not getting things like SNAP benefits, right? And then a certain amount of that money is going to house temporarily undocumented immigrants, to help feed undocumented immigrants so they don't become homeless for a certain amount of time, right? But they're paying for that themselves. It's not our money that's paying for that. It's them paying into our tax system and then them retrieving from our tax system with room to spare because the rest of that money is going to us.
Well, sorry, let me clear my throat. Well, that's not 100%. That doesn't encapsulate the whole thing. You got to get the funding from somewhere to begin with, and it doesn't necessarily get paid back to build all these places. That's another reason why the housing market is so hard to, interest rates high. The housing is super expensive because there's just so many more people in such a short amount of time that needed somewhere to stay that it made everything super competitive.
If that was the case, then how come before we had this surge of migrants, the housing market was already shit?
It wasn't shit.
Yes, it was. What are you talking about, dude? Our housing market has been shit for a long time. Our interest rates weren't as high. We had much lower interest rates, but we've been in a housing shortage for a long time.
Listen, and this is true. I bought my house in 2020 for $150,000 at a 3.375% fixed interest mortgage rate. All right.
Yep.
Maybe it was bad before, maybe it's bad after, but I know that there was a lot of flexibility with everything around 2018 through 2020. And then COVID hit and things started changing.
Correct. COVID did have a large effect on housing market. It was one of the major causes of raising interest rates, along with, printing money and stuff under, certain administrations to give out stimulus checks, blah, blah, blah. There was tons of stuff that caused a high inflation rate, which raised interest rates, right? Also, on top of that, COVID had a whole bunch of people locked in their house, which then made people want to go move houses, which made houses more of a commodity, right? Which means that people were able to raise their prices. None of that changes that we still had a housing shortage before all of that, okay? I'm not saying that things weren't better. Things were better. Okay, but you were very clear right there, and even showing that the number one reason why we had a worse housing problem was because of COVID, not because of migrants.
No, I'm not saying that the two things are mutually exclusive. They kind of are and they kind of aren't. But when you have a already stressed housing market because of something like COVID, and then you also bring in a huge amount of people compared to the percentage of the population, and then it just stresses it even further when people are already trying to get back from recovering from the initial stressor.
But sir, again,
would you agree with that?
No, I wouldn't agree with that, because it was already being stressed by COVID.
Yes,
right.
And then you add
COVID stressed it, okay, but you're not showing me how migrants actually stress the problem. You're just saying there's more people, so it must have stressed the problem, but you're not showing me how it did that.
Okay, I'll break it down as if I can. So, okay, let's just say everything's going, boom, COVID hits, right? Now you have lockdowns. People aren't going to work. You have the government printing more money. You have the stimulus checks going back out, which some of them got recalled back in your next taxable year, right? So people aren't keeping all that stimulus money. Some people are selling the money or houses for much more than they're worth just because they can, because there was a lot of stocks that just went through the roof because of things like that. And then Bitcoin and cryptos, a lot of things peaked very high in the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, everything like that. And then everything it was a bubble, and then it kind of burst. Everything goes way down. But then the prices of all these houses stay high. People can't move. The interest rate goes back up. And then you also add in that there's a bunch of, then people are locked where they are, and you can't do anything about it because the money was already spent and lost in certain cases. And then whenever you bring in more people that need more houses that aren't necessarily available, especially at lower rates, and then it's another stressor. So you have
gotcha.
Stressor 1, COVID, stressor 2, printing money, stressor 3, stimulus checks, stressor 4, inflation, and then stressor 5, more people to house.
Just to be clear, you're saying that the people who you just claimed, for the most part, make minimum wage. Okay.
Not initially. They don't just come here and have a job waiting for them necessarily. They still have to take time to find it.
Sure. So they come here with nothing, then they start on minimum wage. Okay.
Maybe. They might.
Then they're undocumented, and depending on which state you're in, you can't even rent a house because you're undocumented, so you can't prove your income. Right? In some states you can, right? You're saying that these people who are making almost nothing, okay, and then many times don't even have the legal ability to rent or buy a house or apartment, are the thing that's stressing the housing market. Tell me how that makes sense.
I'm saying that there's a bunch of, because then whenever you have taxpayer-funded dollars going to build places or to repurpose buildings or rent things out for no cost because you have to, because of maybe state, local, or some federal ordinances saying you have to do this, then yes, that is a stressor when you give people no options.
Sir, that is not the stressor on the housing community, okay?
Not
the housing
B,
on the sir, it's not even A. And if you want to say A, sure. If you put our entire housing problem into a thing that's 100%, okay? Yes, the migrants coming here might be less than 1% of it. Okay? Sure. More people, less than 1%. Okay? But to say that migrants are stressing our housing system because they're less than 1% of the problem is ridiculous. Our housing market is stressed because of every other problem with our housing market that's not being addressed.
Insane.
Okay? That's the issue. The shortage of houses, corporations buying up single-family houses, creating a false inflation over the housing market.
That is
okay,
a fucking problem too. I'm gonna agree with you on that.
That houses, that single-family houses aren't profitable for builders, and we need to be able to subsidize them to make sure that they can actually do that. The flagging economy, especially currently, which is causing people to not be able to save enough money in order to actually put down payments on houses. All of those are major issues, okay, with our housing market. All of those are. Migrants are not the problem, okay? And blaming migrants, okay, is a problem because what you're doing is you're trying to scapegoat your problems, right? You're trying to say, "Oh, migrants are coming here, so therefore they are causing this problem and that problem and this problem and that problem," when they're just not. Okay? At the end of the day, migrants are putting in more to the system than they're taking out. Okay? So they are not, hold on. So they're not a drain on our system. Okay? They are not the problem with our housing market. Okay? They are not the problem with our costs. They're not the problem with any of these things. Okay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I would just like to I'm not saying, I'm going to try to make myself as clear on my point because it's a little convoluted. I am not at all saying that they are the main or even the biggest or even a big stressor. I am saying that it does add in. So if it's a 0.25% out of 100 stressor, that still adds 0.25%. I am not saying that they are the problem. I'm not scapegoating that as a problem. I'm saying that it is, even if it's a fractional problem, it is still somewhere there. There are bigger problems. I agree with you 100% on that. I'm not going to say that I'm not agreeing. But at the end of the day, there are people that do need to be, it's just better to have people documented so that we can make sure that things are happening.
I don't disagree with that.
Because there are people that have been here for a while that are not doing well.
I don't disagree with that, with the fact that you want people to be documented. That's not a problem. The difference in how I think about how people should be documented in the United States and the way that people and the way that the Trump administration agrees thinks that people should be documented in the United States are not the same thing. Mine is effective. Trump's is not.
What is your exact plan then? I'm not saying this to throw stones at you. I just do want to hear what you think.
Yeah, it's super simple, right?
I like engaging with you.
Yeah, if you attack people, okay, you discourage people from coming out of their houses, from going to work, from doing things that stimulate our economy, and you discourage them from trying to get documented, right? Donald Trump is going after people in immigration courts. So why would people want to go to immigration courts to try to get legal? Right, to have background checks on it, that would be a negative to them. They don't want to go to work and pay taxes because Donald Trump is using the IRS in order to try to hunt down migrants. Right, so it's the exact opposite of bringing people out so we can see who they are. If you were to give people amnesty in this country, it would encourage people to come out of their houses to work, to be able to work, to be able to pay taxes, to be members of our economy. And even more than that, it gives the added benefit, which is really awesome, that now in order for them to do that, we now get to run background checks on all of them. We get to give them social security numbers and all of the things that we need to be able to give them to make sure they are tracked in our system, to make sure that they're not terrorists, to make sure that they're here the correct way. We have the ability to actually do all of those things, and we get to do it a lot more quickly because I guarantee you, if you take a bunch of undocumented immigrants and you tell them, hey, we're going to give you a road to becoming legally here, they're all going to come out so we can view them, right? So we can see them, so we can make that. So we get to the point where instead of having 14 million undocumented immigrants that we're not sure who they are, we now go down to probably in a matter of a few years, probably less than a few million, right? And then we know that those people who are probably hiding are probably the ones that we should probably be going after because they probably have negative intentions because they're not showing themselves.
Yeah. All right. Can I add something to that point? Because I agree for the most part, but I do have something to exclaim about it. So I do think that you're right on the thing that if you just don't make people feel afraid, then they will show up and they will do all these things. I do agree with you on that. I do think that that's not a terrible solution to that kind of issue. But what I'm saying is I think that all that kind of stuff should be done before they're in the country so that we don't have to see if they're hiding or trying to hide so that we don't find out their nefarious intentions. Yeah, we should figure that out beforehand.
That's great. We're too late for that.
I know. I
know. We're 14 million people too late for that. That would be really cute and great if we did not have 14 million undocumented immigrants here. They're already here. Okay? They're already here. So if they're already here, how do we get them? What is the most effective way that I can run a background check, okay, on all of the people that are already here?
You get them to come and do it themselves.
And how do you do that?
You invite them.
You incentivize them. You incentivize them. If you already have a group of people here and you say, and maybe we set a time limit on it. Maybe you have to have already been here for 5 years, 10 years, whatever. You had to freaking make sure that, you haven't had any type of, criminal proceedings or whatever. You couldn't have a speeding ticket, right? And then freaking all the people that have been here over a certain amount of time, we grant them amnesty and we go there and all those people come out. They're already here in our system. They're already working. All right. They're already not causing trouble. Right. So we already know that they're doing that. So we can run background checks on them. And now we have all the people that are already here. Now they're good. Right. We can't go back and unmake them here. If we tried to hunt down 14 million people, we will never do it. OK, we will. I don't care if Donald Trump
what you're saying.
Trump has already made ICE the largest law enforcement agency on the planet. OK, and he's nowhere close. OK, he's not even scratching the surface of 14 million people. Not even scratching it. He hasn't even hit half a million
yet. That is a problem, though.
Okay? And he's not going to, okay? Because the way that he is doing things is ineffective. Not to mention the fact that it costs the American taxpayer so much more to do so.
So do you think that it's a problem that they were let in this particular fashion in the first place?
Well, sir, you have to say let in. The majority of people, over the years who have come in the United States and are undocumented in the United States are here because they overstayed their visa.
I mean, let's just use a round number. It could be higher, it could be lower. Let's just say 10 million that came in during the previous administration before Trump's second term.
That's not even close.
Okay, well, what would your number be then?
The last estimates I saw were right over 2 million, something like that.
Okay, let's just say 2.5 million.
Sure.
Okay, let's just say that. Whether or not that's the actual number, we're gonna
hold on. I told you that there was 14 million undocumented immigrants in the United States right now, according to the latest estimates that I've seen. Right, just over 14 million. You really think that over 50 years we had 4 million, and then in 4 years under Biden we had 10 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when you stop the border patrol
he didn't
patrolling the border.
He didn't.
I mean, okay.
How many people were repatriated under the Biden administration just last year?
Repatriated?
Deported.
No, I don't know that off the top of my head.
678,000 people.
Okay.
678,000 people.
And how many people were repatriated so far during Trump's first or second term, the first year?
300-ish, 350?
350 to 670?
Is something like that so far this year. Okay. That was just 2024. That wasn't Biden's entire term. That was just 2024.
No, I know. And
okay.
Trump,
if people weren't patrolling the border and ICE wasn't doing their job, then how did he deport more people than than Trump is going to this year?
How?
Yeah, you're telling me that Border Patrol wasn't patrolling, okay? Border Protections weren't doing their job, right? How did he deport more people last year than Trump is going to this year?
What do you mean, how is that possible? Because you get... Wait. I don't understand the question.
Sir, how can we deport 678,000 people in 2024 if Border Patrol is not doing their job?
Well, are you talking about deportations or turnaways?
Sir, both. Repatriations, all of them. If it's turnaways, it helps me even more if it's turnaways. How do you turn someone away at the border if there's no Border Patrol patrolling?
Well, not saying that they didn't do anything at all. I'm saying that they weren't doing the job to the fullest of their extent.
They were doing their job to the fullest of the extent, sir. That is a bold-faced lie. They were doing the job. There was just a lot more people showing up. Okay?
Because they were being invited.
No, there was a lot more people showing up because of the destabilization of the Northern Triangle.
Okay. So they just come here?
Yeah.
From other countries in Europe and East Asia?
There were some people that were coming from places like East Asia and Europe and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that there weren't, right?
Yeah,
especially, we actually saw there were some people coming over from Russia. They were supporters of the opposition party to Putin, right? And they were
And there are
escaping.
definitely Ukrainians too.
Yeah, there was
obviously.
Ukrainians. I'm sure there were. They were, escaping the war-torn country there. I'm not denying that. The large majority of them were from Central America, though. The overwhelmingly
'cause it's
large
right
majority
here.
of them were from Central America.
Because it's right here. It's close. I understand. I'm not arguing with that.
Okay. So
Believe
when
me,
I'm
I'm not.
talking about people coming from, you just made my point even more, sir. When people are coming from places like Ukraine, when people are coming from places like Russia, an opposition party, right, for political violence, which is a way in which you can seek asylum in the United States. When people are coming from Central America, from destabilized regions, okay, these are all asylum seekers. These are not undocumented migrants that are coming into the country.
Not always.
You're correct. Not always. Okay.
Yes.
You are correct. Not always. Okay. But why?
So wait, is that 600? I'm sorry. How many? No, never mind. Continue on. I forgot what my question.
Yeah.
was.
So first of all, the majority of them were asylum seekers. Okay, that were coming over. The people that were coming over undocumented weren't people that were let into the country. They were people that were not let in and snuck around. Okay. Just the same way that people have been sneaking across our southern border for longer than I've been alive. Okay, longer than I've been alive, people have been sneaking across the southern border. I know this because my first job, I worked with only people that had snuck across the southern border. Okay, whole workforce. Okay,
all right,
it was just people. It's been and I'm 38 years old, so a lot longer than I've been alive. People have been sneaking across the southern border. Okay, but saying that because we had more people coming because of a destabilization, so more people snuck across the border is not letting people in. Okay, it's not having the resources at the southern border in order to stop them from coming in, and that's the problem. Okay, we needed more Border Patrol agents. We needed more resources at the border to stop people from coming in. People and money that Biden tried to get, and the Republicans in Congress stopped them.
Oh, okay? Because of that bill. Yeah, I know.
Which one?
I know. What was it called? K2 or something? I can't remember.
Sir, there was 3.
I can't remember what
there was
names
one
were.
6 days into Biden's term, where he tried to get more money for Border Patrol agents, where he tried to get more money at the southern border, and Republicans blocked him every single step of the way. And then those same Republicans who blocked his ability to secure the southern border better blamed him for not blocking the southern border better.
Oh, no, hold on. I'm actually coming back to it. So I remember the rules and stipulations for the one last year that got blocked was because there's only a mandatory border shutdown after a certain amount of border crossings in a single day, and that can only be instituted 180 days out of the year. And that only went for 7 years, and then the number went up.
It would have shut down the border that day.
Yeah, for that day. And
no,
then
not
opened it
for
back
that
up.
day. It would have shut down the border that day for 6 months. Do you know how many people probably came across that border in 6 months?
Well, the statistics I was hearing was about somewhere between 6,000 and 9,000 people a day.
Well, those were encounters. Those weren't people that were coming into the United States. But regardless, even if you want to go on encounters, you know how many encounters there would have been? 0.
How many?
Okay? Because the border would have shut down the day the bill was signed.
Well, that doesn't mean people can't just come up to it.
Yeah, they can come up there and stare over, just like you can walk up to the border of North Korea and look over. Hey, look, there it is.
That's a bad idea, though.
What are you talking
I can
about?
block.
There's tours. I've done it.
North Korea?
Yeah, you can go right up to the border of North
yeah,
Korea and be
you're in
like,
South
yep,
Korea.
it's right fucking there.
Well, as soon as you step foot on their land, that's different.
Correct. And it would have been a lot different for those migrants, too, who walked past that border because the border was, again, shut down. But we didn't have the border get shut down because Republicans blocked it from shutting down.
Okay. Well, who blocked the border laws that Trump was trying to put into effect during his first term?
Democrats and Republicans, actually.
I would say that's been the same.
It was actually both, funny enough. I actually remember that bill that Donald Trump was trying to push in. He actually kind of pissed off everyone with that one. That one was pretty good.
He pissed off everybody with everything his first term, of course.
Yep, that's very true.
But a lot of the reason he pissed off a lot of people is because he was not fucking
smart,
bullshitting half the time.
Smart. And by the way, he was able to pass certain immigration bill. He was able to get the money for his wall.
Yeah, but it never got finished.
Correct, because it sucked.
Well, yeah, a wall that's not finished isn't. It's kind of a sucky wall. I do agree.
No, his wall that was finished was shitty. That's why they didn't finish it.
Okay, well, fine. Sir, I'm not gonna lie. It's actually very refreshing to talk to you about this kind of stuff.
Well, I do appreciate that, but I did want to get to one more caller since I have been on the phone with you for like 40 minutes. So I do want to get to another caller before I end this live because I do have to get off before the Charger game starts. But
I'm trying to segue to that. It's very nice to talk to you, Paulie.
All right, man. Well, you have a good one. Nice to talk to you also. All right.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too.
Enjoy.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next person. Y'all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We can give W's in the chat for that caller. That was at least a decent caller. At least we were able to have actual like intellectual conversation instead of a full crash out. So that's pretty cool. That's a lot better than a full crash out, right? Someone say self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, I probably am. Ogden, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. I really appreciate that. So keep up the good work, Paulie. I love watching you school the typical deniers. Much appreciated, bro. Thank you so much, Ogden. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Kez, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, Paulie, why do they always end up agreeing with you? Because I'm right a lot. Yeah, that's why. It's probably because I'm so smart and pretty. I'm guessing. Thank you so much, Kedge. Draga said, stop offing my people. We're in our borders. I believe he's talking about the people that are here crossing the border. I believe so. And I also agree with that. Let's please stop doing that. Thank you so much, Drago. I appreciate that. Patrick says, yes, the hamburger's name and concept originated... Wait, what? I feel like I missed part of that conversation. I'm not really sure. But thank you so much, Patrick. I appreciate it. I feel like I missed a part. Snowy Weave says, Trump has been corrupted onto a disharmonious person. No amount of their light would save him, I feel. I completely agree with that, Snowy Weave, 100%. And Snowy Weave with the second, this is $220 Canadian dollars, which I don't know how much money that is. But it says trans rights are human rights. Can we get a huge trans rights are human rights? Big W's in the chat for that, and for the $220 Canadian dollars over on Super Chats. I assume those are like like $500 a piece. I don't know. Canadian dollars seems like it's worth more. So I'm just going to assume those are $500 a piece in American dollars. All right. I pretty something like that. Big W's in the chat for Snowy Weave. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for that. It's less than $500 US. Damn. Damn. You just couldn't let me live in my dream, could you? You just couldn't let me live in my dream. All right? I'm just joking, y'all. I didn't really think that. Let's open up the phone lines. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you like to support the live, I do have super chats open. I also have my pay links for all my pay links in my bio. So if you'd like to support that, that is another great way to support the live. I really appreciate you on that. Also, thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, Polly? My name is Aaron. I am 32 years old. How you doing this evening, man?
I'm doing great. Do you support Trump?
You know, I've been really conflicted over some time about that. I was a voter. I was one of the few that, or one of the many that helped him get into office, and by that time I had realized what I did was a horrible fucking mistake. You know, it was an ongoing joke And between me and some friends, hey, Daddy Trump gave me $2,000 He's helped my family. Well, within doing that, he sent us deeper into debt and, went even harder into fucking us. So it's been really convoluted and really hard coming to terms with that, but I am on the right track now whenever it comes to that.
Well, I'm very, very happy to hear that. Like I said, I am trying to get one more debate in before the Charger game starts, but I do really appreciate you coming up, and welcome to the correct side, I believe. And I hope you have a wonderful day, okay?
Oh, well, actually, I wanted to go over the Borrego Garcia subject, if that was all right with you. I mean, but at the same time, I also feel like, I don't have opposing views to you at the same time, so I'm going to agree. You should let somebody else call in.
Yeah, just because I only have a couple of minutes, man. But we'll have you up another day if you want to talk about Kilmar. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a subscriber. I'll catch you on the next one, man.
Sounds good, man. I'll see you tomorrow. Later.
See.
Yeah, I'll let him cook sometimes. Just not gonna let him cook today because we're like 10 minutes. We only got like 10 minutes left. Okay. I know you guys want him to cook. We're not gonna have him cook today. We got like 10 minutes. All right. Because normally I run a little longer. Like I'll run a little longer to do stuff like that. I don't mind, but I can't do it today. Okay. More important things are happening right now. All right. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
20.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Cool. What's on your mind?
Just a quick question. Who do you think would make a better president than Trump right now?
Summer. Rupert.
I'm not
either
sure.
of those two would be great.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
To get your answer. I think that Trump is the best president that we've ever had, and he obviously is making America great. So.
Awesome. So, what qualifies him as the best president ever?
He's obviously fixing up the United States. He has addressed the fact that there is only two genders. And he's getting rid of all the crazies, and he actually is closing the border and doing what he promised to do.
Yeah, except for that whole like addressing the fact that there's only two genders just isn't true because that's not a fact. See, that's the problem with that.
It is a fact.
See, no, that's your belief. Okay, is that it's two genders, and that's totally fine. Okay, well, me, science, the Bible.
Science says that there are only two biological genders.
Yeah, we're not talking about biological genders. Who's talking about talking about biology? Those are biological sexes. Gender is different from sex. Do you not understand that?
Yeah, but there's no.
Okay, so there is biological sex, and honestly, even those two have a lot of variations. That's why you can have things like an XYX and an XYY chromosome, and science does differentiate the two, right? So even though there's two main ones on top of that, there's also multiple things on that, and even biologically, you can be trans sex, right? So you can be born with both sets of genitalia or neither. So even science doesn't believe that there's just two when it comes to sexes. But when we're talking about genders, we're talking about something completely different.
Right. So did you lose your mind?
No, I have it very, very like in spot. What about you?
You sound like you have been, I don't know, somebody just
educated. Yeah. Like I sound like I've read.
Did you go to college?
I sound like I've read a book. Yeah.
Did you go to college?
Must be rough. Yes, I did go to college. Yes. Lots of it, actually.
Exactly. That's why you're talking like that, because obviously you got
again educated. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you.
And where did you go to? Where did you go to? I assume elementary school or whatever your highest level of education is.
Right. I've actually done college, but I've done it remotely because I refuse to be brainwashed by these crazy colleges.
Oh, brainwashed by the crazy colleges. Yeah, horrible.
Okay, so you're telling me that there's an infinite
in these guys in these crazy colleges, they're teaching you things like science. Ooh,
show me where science.
Everybody, MAGA run, MAGA run. I said science. Ooh,
yeah, show me where science says.
Scary.
Okay, you're not gonna let me talk, obviously, because somebody opposes your views, like the
I'm
left
letting you talk all I
person
want.
you had
You're
calling,
deciding to talk while I'm talking. That's the problem.
because you didn't even let me get a word in. Are you letting me speak now? Is this you trying to let me speak? Hello? Hello? Can you show me where science says that there are more than two biological genders?
Sure.
Please? I'm waiting.
Yeah, I have to pull it up. Did you expect me to just show you by staring at the screen?
No.
Okay. I will just type this into Google because I don't even need to waste my time pulling up anything more than that because you didn't choose to do that. Multiple scientific viewpoints exist regarding the number of biological sexes in human, with the most common ones supporting either two or more than two.
Do you know how uncommon it is for there to be a third gender?
So you are admitting there is a third.
No.
Oh,
I'm
so
saying
now
what
you
science
are,
says.
gotcha. So now you are admitting that scientifically there's more than two. You're just saying that it's rare.
No, it's called a condition. It's not even a third gender. There's obviously something wrong.
Oh, gotcha. So that's good. At least we've already gotten past, like already in this
No,
conversation,
it's called
from
no.
me doing
That's not
anything
what I
at
said.
all whatsoever. We've already gotten to the part where there's more than two. That's
No.
impressive. That's so
That's
good.
not what I
You know,
said.
I have
said
never
it's a rare medical condition.
I really
It's a rare medical
I
condition.
really do appreciate how I had to do no work to get you there. That is helpful for me.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't have to waste my brain. Maybe that college is teaching you some things after a while.
So do you know anybody who's like that? That less than 0.
That's transsexual? Yes.
No, not that. That's not
That
what
was
I
born
said.
with multiple sets of genitalia? Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I actually know a few people like that.
Really?
Mhm.
Because it's less than 0.018% of the population.
Yes,
So,
which means they exist and a lot of people follow me. So I get to know a lot of people.
yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're born like that.
Yes, it does.
It's a very rare medical condition. No, that doesn't. Sorry.
Yeah, so
getting it back
there's
wrong.
lots of very rare conditions, and I've known people with a lot of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see,
hope you
I
enjoy your life.
have lots of people that follow me and they talk to me like all the time. So I find out about people that are born with both sets of genitalia or neither sets of genitalia, but none of that has to do with there being multiple genders, okay? Because when we're talking about gender as in a social construct of gender, not talking about biology, okay? That is a lack of understanding.
So you agree that it doesn't mean the same thing when it comes out to scientific biology.
Yeah, you don't even agree that it comes to the same thing when it comes to scientific biology. By the way, the construct of gender is also science. You do realize that, right? So both things are science. When we can talk about things like your genitalia, we can talk about things like your chromosomes. That's science, okay? And then also we have these things called social sciences. Okay. When we discuss things like gender and how gender is a social construct, right? So when you have trans people in the United States, what they are doing is they're identifying with a social construct outside of possibly their biological sex. That is the whole point of being trans. Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
If I decided tomorrow that I feel like I'm 40 years old, can I go around and start telling people that I identify as a 40-year-old?
You can go around telling people you identify as an 80-year-old. No one cares.
Exactly. That's the same reason you think
No, I
it's
said
okay
go
for
ahead.
people to walk around. Exactly.
Yeah,
because
do it.
you agree that people could just go around, walk around, and tell people that they're a man when they're a woman, or
But
they're
see,
a woman
here's
when they're a
your
man.
problem with that is that remember how I said gender is a social construct?
Right.
Yeah,
So in
but
10
see,
years from now,
but see,
if
man, no,
age
don't
became a
try to
social construct,
don't try to run off now that you know you're caught. You see, gender
No.
is a social construct. Age is not a social construct.
not
Okay.
yet, but if in 10
And
years
actually,
it
even
decides to
then,
become
age is kind of been created by humanity, right? Like we literally judge someone's age based off of how many times this rock moves around another rock, and then we've decided that time exists within that, and then we decide, you know, that time means a certain amount of things, and then we decide that your age exists based off of that.
Right.
But all of that is just a, you know, construct of humanity, all right? But when we do that, we don't. There's not really like multiple definitions,
so-
and someone's
so
age
can a
doesn't
man have a
change over
baby?
time.
Can a man have a baby? Can a man get pregnant?
Sure.
Right. Do you know one man who has?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. How many?
Maybe 2 or 3.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Right. So I've never heard of that in my life.
Oh,
Okay.
my girlfriend says 6.
Um,
She knows 6 people. That's pretty cool.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. So I love how you are basically just proving to people who are watching right now that you obviously have no idea what you're talking about, and you are.
Yeah,
being
I'm doing a great job at that. Yeah.
Mhm.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Everyone here is really thinking about how I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
Um,
I can actually see the consensus throughout the chat, right? Of everybody talking
Okay.
about how I don't know what I'm talking about. It's crazy.
Okay. Do you know the names of the people, of the men who have
I wouldn't
children?
release names of people to you.
No, not asking you to release them. I'm asking if you know their names.
Yeah, of course.
Right. And you've seen their children?
Yes, I've seen their houses, right? I've seen them breathe. All right. I've seen them wear shoes. Guys, I've seen people wear shoes.
Wow. This is really funny. This is actually really funny that your brain is
That I've
so
seen people
warped.
wear shoes. Yeah, it's wild.
No, I really hope you
I
get
love
help.
shoes. They're pretty cool.
I hope you get help because men
Get help. I'm
men
doing
cannot get
great,
pregnant.
ma'am. I am doing so much better than you.
But like
You know
you
how
were
I do,
saying
you know,
about-
you know how I know I'm doing so much better than you?
I don't need you to tell me.
Oh no, but I'm going
Because
to anyway.
honestly
You don't
don't
I don't need to tell you at all, but
Go
I'm
for it.
going to tell you.
Go for it.
Okay. I didn't waste my time, okay, trying to come up and argue about a group of people that I don't understand at all, who are bothering me zero, okay, just because I have hate in my heart. Okay? I didn't do that. You did that. Okay? And since
Does
the
it sound
fact
like
that
I have
no,
hate in my
I'm
heart
talking,
or
I'm
brain
talking,
in my
I'm
head?
talking, I'm talking.
Mhm.
Yeah. And since I didn't do that, I know my life must be so much better than yours. Okay? Because literally just sitting here just trying to be hateful about people that do not bother you and you don't understand must be
Did
just
I
the
say
most
I hate them? I don't think so.
Did I say that you said that you hate them?
Insane.
You just
No, I said you're being hateful towards them. Maybe if you would be quiet with that hateful little mouth of yours, okay? You learned something. Okay? Cool.
I'm listening.
What you should do, okay, is you are 20 years old. What you should do is what you should have been taught by your parents, okay? You should have been taught by your parents. But obviously you chose not to do that, right? They chose not to do that, which, whatever, right? What they should have taught you is when people aren't bothering you and they're not really hurting anyone, you just let them go and do their whole thing, especially if they're not hurting anyone else, which trans people are not doing. They're not hurting you. They're not hurting anyone else. Okay? They're literally just trying to live their lives and try to survive just like the rest of us are doing. Okay? But while they're off living their life, not worried about you at fucking all, okay? You, instead of being worried about your own life, okay, which sounds like it's probably not going very well, okay? You, instead of being worried about your own life, are worried about a bunch of people that aren't bothering you, okay? So what you should do is grow the fuck up. Sound good?
Please don't talk to me like that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I
Grow
could,
the fuck
I
up
could hear that
now
I've upset you
and
that
be
you've
quiet.
gotten
Oh,
upset
I'm not
from this.
upset, ma'am. I
it
actually
sounds
had
like you're
parents that
very
actually
upset.
loved me. Okay. And they taught me never to let someone as ignorant as you ever to upset me. I'm trying to hurry this up because the Charger game starts in a minute, and you're not worth my time. Cool?
Oh.
Awesome. Cool. Anyways, y'all make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. The Charger game starts in exactly 1 minute. I have to get through a super chat real quick. Rad Storm, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Polly, explode her mind with Swire syndrome. I was exploding her mind with just like basic English. Basic English was enough to take her down. It wasn't, if it wasn't anybody else, okay? They definitely don't need more than that. Y'all, I will see you guys tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central. Love you guys. See you guys then. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, all right? Make sure you guys